Hey up. So I've got this piece of laburnum that's been drying. It was drying for about a year, and then I turned it to get bark off, sealed ends with PVA, and kept it in my workshop for about another year. So that's probably 2 years. One is 2. If you didn't know, it's got some really nice figure in it. I love laburnum. And what I want to do is make a round box. I don't turn many spheres, and to take the guesswork out, what I've done is I've drawn a 50mm circle with a compass, and then come in 2.5 mil, come in 5mm, and then done a semicircle, and then I've cut them out. So basically, that's going to be the outside of my box, and that's going to be the inside, and that'll be my wall thickness. So that's a stencil to keep me accurate. I haven't cut it out accurately, I've just done it with scissors, so there'll be some, but it'll give me a good guide anyway. This is thicker than that, so I'm going to have to get this mounted up, get it to 50mm round, and then I'm going to part it in half and hollow each half first, and then join them back together and do my outside sphere. Because if I don't do that, if I do my sphere first and then cut through it, it'll reduce it on the inside and it'll make it more like an oval shape. So that's what we're going to do first. So I'll get this mounted on lathe, and then we'll get it roughed down to 50mm. Right, so we've got it between centres. I'm going to rough it down to 50mm, and because it's a sphere, it needs to be 50mm this way, but remembering I'm going to have to take the middle out, I'm going to do it at about 60mm and put a tenon on each side. So we'll get that done. One sec. So that's roughly 50mm all the way across. I'm going to decide where I'm going to get my sphere from here. So I know that it needs to be 50mm wide. That'll be 50mm. But what I forgot is I need to part this middle off. But I know by looking at that, if I leave, say, that much, when it comes to, it'll leave me enough to get 50mm when I put it back together. I hope I'm explaining this properly. That is the amount I'm going to lose. So if I go that width from there and that width from there, I've doubled it, so this is where I need my tenon. I hefted that one up, but it don't matter. Right, so I'm going to part this off and part that off, So that's one tenon, that's another tenon. So we'll say that's roughly middle. Parting tool. What I want to do now is make a little shoulder for this tenon to fit into, and then over that out. So I'll get the camera changed round and then come back. I'm going to get a little bit of a depth hole, not too much so because it's not going to be too deep, just to a little bit more. Right, I just need to make that deeper. That fit is good enough for me. It's a tiny little bit loose, but I definitely do not want this to be a pop fit. This is more for the depth than the shape. Quite a bit more to go. So as long as I don't go deeper than that, I know that I won't go through the bottom when I make my outside shape. So that's alright for that. Now I want to sand and finish this inside. So that's sanded to 240. Going to be using some Brandon bespoke wax oil. That's a lovely surface. I get this piece out at chuck. Get this piece in. sanded up to 240. I've just rubbed some of that wax oil treatment in there. I'll give that a buff. So now the insides of that solid, I can put them together. And turn my sphere. But I'm going to put this one back in chuck, and that one has got a marking for my tail centre. Get a bit of tissue to get that to stay in there really firm, and then get some pressure from tail centre. So now I need to make my sphere. After sanding, sanded to 240. Some meths, alcohols, that is really nice. So as you can probably tell, my template went straight out of window, although it's not too bad. Hey up. So this is what we've got so far. It's not too bad, and it's a pleasing shape to me anyway. So I'm going to make a stand for it out of this piece of what I think's oak, and then make a finial for top. I'll put my live centre up for now. I've just rough guessed centre. Right, so now that's sanded, that'll be the box on the stand, or pedestal, whatever you want to call it. Let's call it a stand. I'm going to colour this black. And I bought something to try out. It's a spray diffuser by Chestnut Products. I think they're called mouth atomizers when other people make them. And it's basically a human powered airbrush. You basically, that's a mouthpiece. That cylinder blows air over the top of that, obviously with your lungs, and then that creates a pressure that sucks up paint, or stain in this case, out of your container and out like an airbrush. In theory, I haven't tried it. Why not try it when? Why not try it on here when I've never tried it before? So, I want my board there. If I know that you can see there, You should be able to see it happen. Get some kitchen towel ready. Kitchen roll as we call it. This is Hampshire Sheen's Intrinsic Black. I haven't got any big bottles of Jason's Salisbury Craft colours yet. I've got to save up my pocket money. So I've got labour running at 560, that's the lowest mine goes to on this. This is going to go in here, then I'm just going to, well, blow. That doesn't feckin' work. Nope, I'm moving that one in. Get out and we'll pass that. Nope. What I've done now is I've made that top tube cover that bottom one halfway. Let's see if that makes a difference. Nope. That's definitely not working for me. There's some going up pipe, it's just not coming out. This is why you shouldn't try things when you're filming. Let's see what it says. Tubes, open the diffuser so that the tubes are 90 degrees to each other, ensuring that the ends are lined up and overlapping by 50%. They're at 90 degrees. Try moving that one back. Maybe I'm blowing too hard. Ah. I mean, it kind of works. I should have probably wore gloves. It's all over my wall. That's definitely black. So that's how you want it. You want the bigger pipe, well, the little pipe overlapping the bigger pipe. That'll do for me. Obviously if you want precision you buy an airbrush, but like I said before in the videos, if you're doing things on a budget and you just want to try it, then I think they were, I don't know, £8 for two. The reason why I wanted one of them is so I don't get paint on my hands or dyes, but I probably should wear gloves, but for price of a box of gloves I can get a decent length of timber. That's dry, let's get some sanding sealer on. That's that sanding sealed. I'm just going to denib it quickly. What I like to do is when I'm denibbing stuff that's black is press on harder on some parts. And I don't know if you can see it properly, but it makes it matte, but takes it back farther in places than others, and it gives it like an antique look. I'll show you what I mean at end. So I'll just get some of this wax oil. It leaves like a lighter bits on your details. They look like they're catching light different to everything else. Like it's got like a warm look. See if there's another one I can show. I did it on this spalted piece, and it kind of looks aged, if you see what I mean. And I like it. It probably won't be to everybody's taste, but it's not everybody's box. So that's his base. Just need to sand that off and colour bottom. If you've made it this far into the video and you're still watching, I just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you to people that are watching that are not subscribed. If you could tap that subscribe button, it'd be much appreciated. Or even get a like if you like it. If you don't like it, tell me why not. I'm not scared of constructive criticism. This is just a piece of oak. American oak, apparently. Get my face shield on and turn this finial. I won't show you me sanding and colouring it black and waxing it. You've seen me do that on another one. That's sanding sealed and painted black. Get some wax on. Mind the dust, or excuse the dust. So that's that parted off. Just got to colour this top and get everything glued together. So I started putting this together after I'd turned, obviously I turned the base, and I put the tenon on and I put it together. So let me move you up a bit. I put it together and it didn't look right. And I've had this idea in my head for a while to try and do this, but I was gonna do it after I'd tried this sphere turning. So I turned another finial and put it in bottom. Now, let me see if I can get this light. That's better. It's a bit vapey in here, but I'm really pleased with that. The grain does match up. Let's see if I can match it. There we go. So obviously you can put it whichever way you want. The lid is a little bit too loose. See that movement? So when it sits you get like a little lip there, but I'm happy with it. I really like it. I love turning boxes, and as interesting as I can make them, the better. That's the insides. I mean, yeah, I love it. And I think this, I mean, you can turn it all the way if you want. Things like this for an actual ring box, if somebody were proposing to somebody, or they just wanted a place to keep a nice ring when they weren't wearing it. I think it's something really different, and I really do like it. So thank you for watching. Thank you to all my new subscribers, thank you to my old subscribers, thank you to everybody that watches. It really does mean a lot, and I'll see you up next one. Peace.